Let me ask you this, Robyn. Based on your experience there in the 5th District, and I understand really you're kind of raised there,
Yep.
you've lived there, you've experienced the happenings there. What do you believe is the big issue relative to the 5th District now? Whether it's environmental, whether it's relative to sensitivity to the needs of the people who live there, taxes, or the green eco phenomenon. What do you think?
You know what, Dean? All of the issues you just listed are important, every single one of them. So when people say, okay, you can't possibly tackle every single one of those issues, and if you needed to narrow it down to what perhaps your 3 priorities are when you get into office, for me, those issues would be transportation, crime, and education. We have a severe gridlock problem on the west side, and there are immediate remedies that we can implement right now, synchronizing our lights, making the light signals work better to make traffic flow easier. That's terrific, but unless we get serious about a comprehensive strategic transportation plan, we're never going to relieve our transit problem. I am an advocate of light rail. Without building the Expo line and the subway to the sea and all of the other light rail projects that are online, and thanks to the passage of Measure R now, we will have the funding for those projects, we are not going to be able to address the traffic problems. The second issue is crime. I applaud the mayor for his commitment to wanting to increase the police department. We are so severely under-patrolled. We have some 25 officers for 10,000 residents, very behind what New York and Chicago, comparable cities. If we don't make a commitment, even in financially strapped times, to ensure that we increase the police department so that we are safe, then we are not doing our job as public servants. And then education. I have a passion for that issue, as I just shared with you with my story in my own community. Many people will say, well, Robyn, as a council person, you really don't have jurisdiction over education, and I beg to differ with them. The children that live in my community and the parents that send their children to the schools in my community are my responsibility. And I believe that for too long, council members did not partner enough with the Board of Education to address the needs of education. If we don't have a workforce to tap into and build talent among our youth so that we can have an economy that works well, then what are we doing here? So while I pointed out those 3 issues, there are many more that you pointed out. Green jobs and making sure we take care of our environment, absolutely important. You talked about taxes. I'm proud to say that LA City Controller Laura Chick has endorsed me. She endorsed me early because she recognizes that I get that every tax dollar spent needs to be accounted for, and that it's just not okay to constantly be going to the taxpayers and say, give me, give me, give me, unless we deliver on those services. So being efficient and holding general managers accountable for how they spend those dollars and run their departments is also a priority.
That's terrific, Robyn. That was really quite an analysis on the
Well, there you can see I've been here a long time. I have a lot to say.
Well, that's terrific. We want you to say enough so the viewing audience learns more about you and has a chance to see you on television, and hopefully provide more inquiries as to your office or to us, and of course that's all to benefit our city.
Yes.
Let me ask you something on the transportation aspect. What do you think specifically would be the best remedy there? We know that's a high density area, a lot of cars, people. You did mention light rail.
Yes.
Other than light rail, and you mentioned synchronizing the lights, which is really beautiful. Is there anything else that you would do in the transportation mode, even working with other departments that might help?
Absolutely, right now we could go in, and the mayor is committed to this, and so are many of the council members, synchronizing the lights, making sure that our right and left-hand turns are flowing. There was the Tiger Team that was instituted recently, which is about removing those cars that are parked in that right-hand lane when you're trying to go down the road and during peak traffic hours, early in the morning, in the evening. Those are all things we can do right away that are cost-efficient and can alleviate some of the traffic. But why I mention light rail is because we've just got got too many cars and too many people coming. And all the remedies we implement today are never going to address that needs, and you and I are still going to be stuck in our cars. So unless we put together, like other major cities, a mass transit system that includes light rail and subway, we won't really ever be able to solve this traffic problem. And 20 years from now, you and I will still be sitting here saying that we're stuck in traffic. And while it's not a perfect plan, because nothing ever is, it is a start. And we've got to start somewhere. And for too long, the political leadership hasn't been there to stand up and say, yes, this might inconvenience some people, and yes, it's not a perfect plan, but we've got to get something built. And I think now is the perfect time, given that we did pass Measure R and the funds are coming, and we need to have the political leadership to implement those plans.
On the criminal issue,
yes.
Do you think neighborhood watch programs would be effective in encouraging citizens to report to, say, the district or the authorities? How do you feel about that?
I 100% believe in the work that neighborhood councils and watch groups perform. There is data to support that when neighbors look out for their neighbors, crime is reduced. I see it in my own community when someone will call and say, you know what, there's a suspicious looking person around the neighborhood or a car parked in an area that is normally not parked there. Neighbor to neighbor communication really does make a difference, and it helps. I applaud the people that get behind their neighborhood watch programs and associations that really make that a priority. And that's what we need to do, but we can't do it alone. We've got to have more police out there patrolling, not only patrolling to keep the streets safe, but we haven't even touched on the gang issue, which is so enormous in this city, but we could spend a whole program addressing. We'll do that another time.
Robyn, I'd like to have you state to our viewing audience the district you're running for. The election is March 3, 2009. It is a little early, but people need to know the candidates, and especially here our special guest, Robyn Ritter Simon. Any closing remarks?
Dean. Well, Dean, I want to thank you for providing this forum, because I believe that the council person is the most important person on the government level for the community. I know that people are more attracted most recently to our presidential election, but who's representing them on the day-to-day mundane issues and the important issues is really so important. And I'm just proud to be part of this race. I'm proud to be from Los Angeles and from the 5th District, the community in which I am running to represent. I believe I have ideas that are creative and initiatives that I want to implement that really can improve the quality of life for all the people that live in our community. And I welcome forums like this to have an opportunity to get my message out to the viewers and the voters, and I hope that they'll pay attention and follow the race and come out to the forums and call and ask questions. And I'm available to everyone who is interested, and if there isn't an issue we address today, I hope they'll reach out to me so that I can answer it for them.
And remember, the voting is March 3, 2009. Our special guest is Robyn Ritter Simon. You've got to know her more, and you'll be hearing and seeing her more on television. Robyn, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dean, so much. I appreciate it.
Okay.